Hey everybody, it's your old pal Never1212 and his old pal Matt, back again. And today, and for the foreseeable future, we are going to be playing The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. Matt, why don't you say hi to the nice people at home?
Well, hello people, it's me, Never's not so talented friend.
Hey, only one person around here gets to say they're not good, and that's me.
Yeah. So, this is actually, if I want to start with something, I definitely want to, when you start doing Let's Plays, I think this is actually one that I kind of wanted to do on the grounds that, I don't know, this is just one of my favorite Zeldas.
Yes, it's one of my favorites too. I liked it so much I made a series of videos on it, and they were terrible.
Alright, people, if you want to know any background about us, I participated in the bridge stuff like years ago, and I mean like very minor stuff, and I used to pester this guy all the time.
I'm this guy.
To eventually, actually, no, you want to, oh, this is so weird to me, because, okay, people, this is going off on another thing, actually talking about the game. I have only played the Wii version, and as everyone knows, that version is flipped, so I'm already seeing the difference.
Yes, it's quite the oddity if you only played the Wii version, because the entire game was flipped, making Link right-handed. For the only reason that people playing the game are right-handed, mostly. It's strange.
Yeah, but left-handed people just fuck them, am I right?
Exactly. Now, I've played the GameCube version, but that was only after I had played through the Wii version. So, yes, I have all three versions of Twilight Princess. The GameCube, Wii, and Wii U version.
Yeah. What the? Okay, is this a part where we start quoting your abridged series, or?
No.
Because I remember...
That part happens never. Horse stealing time was my first joke steal. As we all know...
Link, come help me get the goats.
Shut up, you.
Okay, I promise this whole thing just won't be me quoting his series, but I am so tempted.
What do you mean you're not tempted? You've been tempted, and you've gone into your temptations.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying I'm very tempted. Uh, uh, but yeah, I thought that man, I think, had something to say to us, and you're just going to ignore him.
I give that man the middle finger, and I say, don't worry, I saw the cutscene, I know where my horse is going, and I want to find some rupees. I forget. I don't remember if in the GameCube and the Wii version, if when you picked up a green rupee, if it actually was like, oh, you got a green rupee, it's worth one.
I don't. I want to say I have no memory of that ever happening. I think I remember what would happen usually. I remember that happening. The lowest rupee I can remember that happening with was the blue one.
Yeah, and it always happens whenever you start your file. When you load your file up, every time, oh, blue rupee, it's worth 5. And 10. And purple.
I kind of wonder why you bothered doing the secret way.
I don't know. I just was kind of like, oh, I guess I'll go through here. I touched your horse inappropriately for you.
Okay, I'm gonna ask right now. In terms of the shipping of this game, I don't know, Link and Ilya. Do you see that as being close to canon or what?
I don't know. I think Link is asexual. Like Todd from Blojo Horseman.
Uh-huh. Okay, people, spoilers right now. I'm a Link and Midna shipper. I'll probably comment more on it when we actually have Midna in later points of the game, but again, this keeps tripping me up because I keep thinking, okay, you're going towards the bridge, but no, it's flipped, and I'm just so not used to it.
I know. I have to actively remember that, yes, I need to go the other way. And I've recently played through the Wii version to get 2 pieces of footage for that Sidekick reunion video. I played through the entire part up to the point where you go to the desert and up to the point where you get the Master Sword. Those are the 2 parts that I recorded because I love those 2 scenes.
Are we going to talk to any of the colorful characters? Or... Well,
we'll talk to them later.
I'm telling you right now, if I were the one playing, I would be talking to fucking everybody, but that just shows...
Fado,
I'm just the
kind
kind
of guy me to herd these goats.
Fine, skip all that. Alright, but you have to promise me one thing.
Okay.
You have to promise me that we're gonna get that one guy stung the fuck by bees, because I always love doing that.
Yeah, I just had a mini heart attack because I wasn't sure if I was recording everything, which happened with Sunshine. I got this 1 star that was Shine that was really difficult to get, and I completely forgot to hit the record on my video, and I was like, oh, well that whole portion of the video is now gone.
Well, basically, if that happened with this, I would have made you completely reset the game and we'd start over.
Yeah, if that were the case. Luckily, it is not.
Alright. So, I don't know, is there anything we can talk about? Because right now we're just, we're herding goats. Or you're herding the goats there.
Well, I think it's interesting that the goats seem to multiply. Like, I don't know, did he get 10 of his goats in already? And
I think that was the implication that he just needed help herding. Like, he got most of the goats in, but he just had trouble getting the last one. That's how I always saw it.
Yeah. Now this is the part where I'm going to not jump over any of his hurdles and just leave, and he's going to look at me all stunned.
It took me 3 hours to set those up.
And goodbye. Cut back to a scene. Oh my goodness.
Know, this is still so weird to me. Again, that I'm probably gonna. Yeah, I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to not comment every time something looks weird, because again, the whole I'm used again to that gate, for example. You went the one. Man, it's just fucking with me.
The entire game will do this to you.
Yeah, cause
It happened when I played the GameCube version for the first time. It will, and it happened when I played this version for the first time too, because I had been playing the Wii version for a lot.
Yeah, people. Before we start this, I want to tell you a little something. When I first played this whole bit took me hours to do, if only because I knew my goal from the kids will tell you like, hey, they're selling a slingshot and whatnot. So okay, my goal is to get the slingshot. But you see, Beth there, the girl with the creepy. Seriously, Beth is kind of creepy. She's always going, ow, towards Link, and it's like she wants to jump you, man. Like that little girl wants to jump Link, and
well,
but that's not the point. Her mother runs the shop, and she's depressed because she got mad at her cat for eating their dinner. And long story short, you can't get the slingshot until you do a few other things, and it took me probably longer than it should have. Oh, there it goes, Blue Rupee. Longer than it should have. My whole point, it took me fucking forever to get past this section. If only just because I couldn't get that damn cat back. Figuring how. Pro tip: what you're supposed to do is once you get the fishing pole, catch a fish next to the damn cat, and it'll take it back to the shop, and you can buy the damn slingshot. But anyway, no, hold on a second. Oh, first you gotta. Go back. We gotta go get him. We gotta go get him stung. We promised me we would do this.
Yeah, but you need the bees for that. Or the hawk.
Yeah, but no, the way you do it is that you talk to him again, and he'll throw a rock at it, and then he'll jump in the water.
That is something I did not know. I've known it since, like, I know that he could get stung, but my first few playthroughs, I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know that? Well, are you gonna see it now?
No, I've seen it. I've talked to him several times now, and he hasn't done it yet.
We gotta walk away.
Maybe I have to go. Let me go into the shop. Let me go into the shop first.
Well, I know, again, you talk to him. You're supposed to talk to him the first time. Like, then, I know you talk to him a certain number of times. He talks about throwing a rock at the hive, and then he'll throw the rock, and then it'll anger the bees, and they'll chase him into the water. Yeah, very depressed, and she's even holding the first bottle. I think that might be the earliest you get a bottle in a Zelda game.
As far as I can think of, it's the only Zelda game where you get a bottle before you get a sword.
Yeah. Alright, I'll go talk to him again. He might... Because it has been a while since I played this,
but... Up a rock.
Yeah, I remember. You had to go inside and then talk to him. Oh. Yo, now you just walk away and it should trigger.
Okay.
There we go.
I didn't know that he could knock over Link.
I didn't know I can do that. I didn't know you could do that. This serves no purpose, but I just love that you can do it. And it gets this. This is optional. Like, and from now until a certain point, he's gonna have that bee sting on his face. And I'm saying, like, I just kind of love something like that. You don't have to do that at all, but you can.
There's a lot of things, and it gives the game a little bit of a replayability value when you don't know that these things happen. And it's something nice that you can go back and like, oh, this isn't like the game is. This is not how I remember playing it. At least that's how I feel. Alright, so now that we've got him stung, we are going to... I know that I can't, but every time I climb up vines, I want to hit the X button to dash, to do a little jump, to use up some of my stamina wheel that I don't have.
Yeah. So what do you think of the grass in this game?
How so? Specifically, what do you mean the grass?
Well, like you can use that that one piece of grass to call like hawks, and
Okay,
there's
so
the
your
one where you call
hawk grass and your horse grass. Well, I think it's an interesting thing. Ow. Hate that. Knocked into the water.
Okay, I think I remember one time where I fell in the water. And basically, I think it was in a place. I had to push that thing in the water, and it took forever.
Well.
Because, I fell in.
Funny. I'm just wondering if I have to be holding it to do the little thing.
Alright, by the way, Pete. Yeah.
First item in the game. Fishing rod.
I don't know what it is. I always some people don't like thought Orden Village, the whole section overstayed its welcome, but I just like the atmosphere of the place.
I mean, it's kind of nice to know that Link is living with people that know him and like him.
Well, it's just like I like the look of the place. That the music is nice and calming, it's just a pleasant atmosphere.
Yeah, I think they do that on purpose so that when, like, oh, the world is in turmoil, it's kind of like, but Orden seems so peaceful and nice.
Yeah, it definitely has elements of, like, the hero's journey. Which is, you know what that is, it's like a storytelling, it's basically the storytelling convention that was most popularized by Star Wars.
Right, but it's been used all over the place.
I'd say it was most popularized by Star Wars. It's like the one.
I know what you said. But no, I understand.
And one thing I love, like, you can call him as a wolf, and it doesn't. The only thing it does, he'll go, "Hey, I know who you are, but you gotta call me as when you're a guy, so you can." I mean, again, it doesn't do much, but it's just something. Again, a thing you can do. This is totally optional.
Yeah, and if you call him after you've been attacked by the hawk, he'll say, "I'm sorry about what I did earlier, but when someone calls me, I gotta do what they say." It's like, what kind of hawk logic is that? I can't climb up there. This isn't Breath of the Wild.
Yep, back in the good old days, huh?
One of the things that really... Let me see something. Oops. Yeah, the controls are...
Yeah, actually, where's the cat?
Where is the cat? Oh yeah,
okay,
the
see,
cat's
okay,
usually over here.
Yeah, so for a when I first got the pole, I noticed it followed me, so I thought, okay, maybe I gotta lure it back to the house.
I wonder. I've always caught the fish over there. I wonder, if I catch the fish over here, is it gonna make that cutscene a little shorter?
Yeah.
If I can catch a fish.
I've always caught it. Yeah, I guess I always caught it over there, too, so...
Let's find out. This actually looks like the place over there in the Wii version.
I know, because that's still I didn't think it would mess with me this bad, but yeah, it's just... It's weird.
I don't think any fish are around here.
Can't make it that easy on you.
Oh shit. I got the cat in the water. Well, I will say one thing that's really good about this game is that there's no stamina wheel, and you can't drown.
Oh god, I drowned a few. I remember like in the Great Plateau, I drowned a few times because I was trying to catch fish, because I needed it for a dish.
Look at Link's face. He's like, good day. Alright, come on. I do like how fish in this game, you can't eat fish, but when you catch them, it gives you a heart. I guess you have to catch the fish over here. I don't think there's... Oh, where's the cat now? Do I have to leave the cat back over here? Matt, I didn't know you could lead the cat, and now you've made me lead the cat astray.
Well, you never knew you could do that?
No, I didn't know the cat followed you. I just thought, oh, it's a cat.
Yeah, I just remember the cat. Yeah, when you have the fishing pole, it will fall. I think. Oh, so now I know that's your first hint that you're supposed to catch a fish. Because I knew I had to buy the slingshot, but the shop owner won't sell you anything until the cat comes back.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when I hadn't even gone into the shop, I don't think. Maybe I had. But, yeah, so let's see.
Oh.
The cutscene should be shorter now. Right there. The shortest that cutscene's ever been.
Yeah, so there you go, folks. We just discovered something new for you.
And for all of you people like, oh, I already knew, I always did that. You're like, hey, screw you. I never noticed the little mouse trap. You see it?
Yep. If I were never speaking of jokes in your abridged series,
Hey, it's that joke that I can't tell now because the guy's dead.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was still kind of controversial when he was alive, only because people were so split on that.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know but cares, which is a weird combination, I made a joke about Michael Jackson here. Before he passed, but still about Michael Jackson, not cool past me.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like Michael Jackson was in there, and he was like something about playing with children or whatever.
He just loved it because he wanted to be nice with all the children, or something like that. Go to episode 2, I think.
Yeah, I want to say it was definitely one of those first ones. It was very early on.
Yeah, it's like episode 1 and 2.
Hey, look, it's Russell, the guy no one could remember in your series.
Yes. And the guy whose voice changed from episode 1 to the end of the series. Because, you know, continuity. I will say it's weird. The pause menu is all on the... it's on the Wii gamepad, and that's kind of weird to get used to.
Actually, here's the thing. Is the slingshot tutorial mandatory, or can you just go in the house, get the sword, and bypass that?
The thing is, if you go in the house and get the sword, they do the slingshot tutorial, and then they say, oh, you got a wooden sword too? And then you have to do the sword tutorial.
I just didn't know, because I always just did this first anyway. So, I didn't know.
Oh, it's a bird in the sky. I will say that like the one really good thing about motion control is it makes aiming super easy.
Unless you're like me and have really shaky hands.
Well, I was reading a comment somebody posted about Breath of the Wild, and they were upset that they thought that like the shakiness in Breath of the Wild, because they always aimed at the analog stick, is from like artificial like shake that they add, like some games add to, like in shooter games where it adds like a little bit of movement. Where in Zelda it never adds that kind of stuff. If you are not moving, there's no like shaking around when you're aiming. But they didn't realize that they had motion control set onto it. And you can turn that off in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the wooden sword in this game. It just looks cool.
Hey kids. The only NPCs that react to being hit at with a sword in Breath of the Wild, all of them react. Now, the tutorial for learning how to swing a sword, I think it was done in Wind Waker a lot better. I hate that little kids are teaching me.
Wait, is someone? I think it's framed more like they're just. Again, that kid is fucking creepy. The girl, because she makes like those almost sexual sounding noises all when Link is around.
And just say about all of the kids, they don't got 4 heads, they got 5 heads.
Especially Mallow.
Well, Mallow has his hair like in a top knot for some reason.
How old is that kid? And because by the end of this game, he runs like a fucking merchant empire.
I don't know. I don't know how old he is. I don't know how old he's supposed to be. Maybe he's the oldest one and he has a growth deficiency. I don't know how he can run in a skirt like that. Just a lot of questions and no answers, ever.
Yeah, so now we're having the monkey chase.
And then the Dave Chappelle joke.
Alright, so... Okay, so when you're playing for the first time, do you take time... I was kind of curious, do you...
I ran right past him the first time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I just kind of wonder, I'm just the kind of guy who, even on subsequent playthroughs, I'm so obsessive compulsive, I talk to fucking everybody.
I hope I'm not, like, triggering your OCD.
As like I said, I have to respect you're the one playing, and therefore, you did the B thing for me. If there's something I really want you to do, I'll let you know.
Okay, I need you to talk to that guy.
Well, naturally, you gotta talk to this guy, otherwise you won't get the lantern, so... And you kind of need that. Oh, look, it's an Odonian!
Whoa!
Yes, if I remember right, wasn't he voiced by your brother Willis originally?
Yep.
Neat. You need to get your brother Roger in one of these videos sometime.
He never lived at home when I was... Oh, why am I...
Okay, speaking of the fishing pole, did you know there's actually something you can do with that with Ganondorf at the end?
Yep.
I never...
put it in front of his face and he's like, oh my god, what's that?
I didn't know about that until years later, and I think that's the most amazing thing ever. I think that's the best thing since Ocarina of Time, where you can deflect his energy blast with the bottle.
Now, I can't remember. I keep using Y to try to attack with a sword. Is Y the button that's like your attack button in Breath of the Wild, or am I just like?
I think B. I want to say okay, either B or X is jump. I know that.
I'm missing the chest.
Yeah, but speaking of stuff up ahead, if memory serves, you should be able to get your first piece of heart.
Yeah, I'm never aware if that's... I feel like you can't get it after this point in the game, but I'm sure you can.
You can, but it's easier just to get it now.
I mean, you're right there.
Yeah, I want to say it is possible. but it's easier to get it at this point.
The first time I played, I got it there, and I've never done it any other way. I'm like afraid that if I do it the other way, I won't be able to get it. And it's this way because we're playing the Wii U.
I know, so don't ask me for directions in this version because I don't think I'll know where anything is.
Well, I'll ask you where to go, and you'll be like, go left, and I'll be like, okay, that means right.
Yeah. Again, to anyone who's listening, it probably annoying when you keep going on, but just keep in mind, I've never played the GameCube or the Wii U version, so I'm only used to the Wii's world. Oh, wait.
You've never played the Wii U version, eh?
Yeah.
Huh. I thought you had.
No, I didn't own a Wii U until this year.
Oh, that's right. I knew that.
A lot of people were probably saying, "Why'd you get a Wii this year? The Switch came out. It's my money. I can do what I want with it."
It's his money, and he'll use it how he wants to. Use it how he wants to.
Well, not to mention, I am convinced that not every game on the Wii U is going to be ported to the Switch, so I think it'll be useful for that.
Well, of course. I mean, you're not going to play... Wait, was there a Mario game on the Wii U?
Yeah, several.
No, but I mean, like, a 3D platformer.
No, that's why Odyssey is such a big deal. Also, I don't understand why in this game... it's 5 pieces of heart instead of 4.
Just to make it something that you have to collect. But you know, it's funny. I forget how many dungeons there are. I want to say 8. Each dungeon, apart from Hyrule Castle at the end, there are 2 heart container pieces. So I feel like that almost negates the extra heart that, like, the 5th piece. Like, if they got rid of all the ones in dungeons and they could just be 4, all the ones on the overworld would be fine. And if memory serves me right, I can't speak for Skyward Sword. I haven't played that game as much as the other ones, but this is the only Zelda game where you collect heart container pieces in levels.
Yeah, I forget what these things are.
They're bokoblins.
Really?
Yep.
They're blue. I remember the fucking bird.
There are blue bokoblins in Wind Waker.
Alright. But I wanted to say thing about that bird. One thing I thought was kind of funny. I didn't read
big old afro.
Besides that, he has a sign that says to put your payment in like his little jar. I didn't read it the first time. Basically, I got something out of his thing and I didn't pay for it, and he fucking pecked me.
Yeah. He's a pecker, alright. I wonder where those boulders went.
I don't know.
Because later on, they're gone.
Yeah. And also, I'm pretty sure in your series, didn't you say the monkey touched him?
Did I say the monkey touched him?
I want to say you made some kind of joke.
There's a point where she said she's not that bad of a monkey. And then later on I made a video with Dave Chappelle Audio talking about, man, be able to fuck, like, how can you fuck people and fuck monkeys? You know? And it's like, you gotta fuck people or monkeys. You know, you can't do both.
Yeah.
She's actually a pretty nice gal, that monkey. You're not gonna mention it to my dad. If you did, I'd totally ostracize you.
Yeah, but then, but no, Colin told his dad, who told his dad, and then now those boys are gonna be in an awful lot of trouble.
You might even get to meet Zelda. Like that would ever happen to you. You're such a loser.
Yeah. Part of me is like, Link and Zelda basically have no fucking relationship in this game, like, at all.
They don't need it.
Oh yeah, I'm the same. Like this Zelda, good God, when we meet her, oh, she has like one expression and that's it.
I
I mean,
feel
she's
like
like,
in this
she's
game, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but in this game, Zelda feels like the most royal kind of figure. Where, like, when you think of someone who is royalty, like, think of the Queen of England, you think of a stoic woman who never cracks a smile, is nothing but serious, and that's it. And it kind of makes sense to have it that way in this game, considering it's the oldest Zelda, and for all we know, she's never left the castle. She probably has been prim and royal her entire life, and that's all she is. She has that one expression. Wow, 28 seconds. That's probably my best time ever.
yeah.
Ooh,
For anyone
boy.
who does, for anyone who doesn't know, take a
Nope.
wild guess. Take a wild guess on what's one thing we'll be doing later to get a piece of heart. If it's wrangle goats, you're right.
If it's anything but wrangled goats, probably right too. There's a lot of heart container pieces in this game.
Yep. And by the way, what do you think of this bit where,
Father!
again, and then one thing is weird because I'm used to him coming from the other way. So,
Well, just for you,
yeah.
I'll flip the video and I'll send it just to you.
And it's like, I don't know if when I'm going to stop and bringing this up because I look at this and I'm so used because this is a game I'm very familiar with.
I
At least in
just
terms of
realized he has hair on the back of his head.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't notice that. And the reason why I'm making a big deal about that, see, look, back of his head.
Uh,
It's the reason I say that is because somebody made a video inside of the mayor's house, and it shows a small bed and a big bed. And it's like, the mayor must sleep in the big bed. But if that's the case, why is there a comb next to it? But he has hair, so that's why.
I love this little. Okay, I'm telling you about. I'm gonna say this right now. I've already said this. People praise Wind Waker Link for being very expressive, and I do. Yes, I will agree, but I think this Link is pretty damn expressive too.
Never seen that hair. Maybe it's only in the HD version.
Well, here's the thing. Like the HD. Well, first of all, there was a lot of bloom in the original version. There was a lot of stuff you couldn't make out clearly because the screen was kind of murky, but they took a lot of that out in this release.
Very true.
So I think you maybe his details you probably
Big old bee sting.
yeah and he'll have that up until he'll even still have that when we come back here as a wolf from that point on, but then it'll be off his face after that. But I just love that attention to detail.
It is very, very nice.
Yeah.
Right there, Mallow looks like a baby. He looks like he's wants a hug.
Yeah, let's hug the little mutant.
Man, I've told you this before, but at work, they call me Schmores.
I don't know why that made me
because they put a sticker on my toolbox that said S more and no space between it, so it just looks like s'more. It's like, oh, s'mores, s'mores, like the chocolate candy cracker thing. That's what you are.
Yeah,
And then
I just
there's gonna be new people at work, and they're gonna try to make me train them. And they're like, oh, you'll be s'mores in the marshmallows.
By the way, I just want to comment on this before, because after this point we're not going to see this outfit anymore. I kind of like Link's Ordonian outfit.
I do too, and I've always wanted, ever since I thought it was gonna happen in the first time I played. Like, oh, I bet when I beat the game and I play through it again, I can wear this outfit throughout the entire game. But no, you can't.
Yeah, unfortunately, it isn't Wind Waker where they let you do that.
But it is a game that has multiple outfits, which I think is good.
I just love how you totally skipped. I mean, because basically it established because you knew about the secret patches already. But I just love how Link, because we kind of skipped more of Ilya's like anger and whatnot. But whatever.
I mean, I feel like the first time I played, I went right through that passageway because I saw I saw some footage, maybe not E3, but like a trailer that had Colin crawling through there, which he doesn't do in the final game. That was something that was only in the beta.
Yeah.
Just come home safely. Don't worry, nothing bad can ever happen.
I never mentioned this game. Yeah. Okay, but here's something. Why do they not take Link? They just knock him out. Like, say, like, they just... Why don't they take him? They take Ilya and all the other kids, but not him.
Part of me has a really, like... I hope it's not a sexual thing.
No, because they take male children, too.
But they're children.
Well, I don't know.
Look at that guy. He looks like a rapist. You shouldn't laugh at that.
Yeah, but whatever. I always thought the Twilight stuff looks really cool.
I love the Twilight. I love how the game looks in the Twilight realm. I mean, sure, it's not the most interesting place, but the aesthetic of it is very pleasing to me. If he had waited just a little bit longer, the beast would probably come back. Come by and try to steal his stuff. And this part's just nice, with the hand grabbing him.
Yeah, what is that hand? Wait, no, it's not Midna, so what the hell is it?
It's a Twilight beast. You see him...
Yeah. Yeah.
Grabbed. And I don't know why they can't leave the Twilight, except for their hand. Well, no. They can't. No, they can. But why can't he enter the Twilight without someone grabbing him? That doesn't make sense to me. Oi, I'd like a tattoo like that. Oh, blimey! Hey, I'm gonna make jokes about my own series too.
Yeah.
I didn't say blimey when I first said it.
Yeah. As much as I actually quite like the wolf, but one thing, you don't really do much with them. I think in the game as much as I just recently I just kind of thought about it. It's like you really don't do as much stuff as the wolf as the trailers and whatnot initially made it look like. But actually, but enough about that. Bye bye Midna.
Only a second. 1 second of Midna is worth 1,000 seconds of Zelda.
Yeah. I think I have plenty of time, but naturally, I love Midna so goddamn much.
Oh, we all love Midna.
I know a lot of people complain about the partner characters, and I don't think Midna ever really had that. I never really met anyone who really hated Midna, or much less disliked her.
I'm sure there have been people who dislike certain aspects of her, like, especially in the beginning, where she's saying like, "Oh, look at me, I'm Mr. Midna's."
Yeah. By the way, while Minna's talking here, a bit of trivia. There's like a okay. So the voice actress for her, like she recorded a few. Well, basically, whenever Minna talks, there's actually a few recorded phrases that are being randomized each time. Like they're playing random samples. And here's the thing: if you unscramble them, you'll find there actually. I remember there actually are phrases that were recorded in English. I forget what they were specifically, but I've heard them. You know, essential. But yeah, it's actually a few set phrases. Like every now, after a while, Minna, you'll hear a few phrases that start sounding familiar because basically she only has like a few samples that, but it's never the same every time you play for every
Except for
scene.
in certain cutscenes.
In certain cutscenes, but like I know this one particularly, it's always randomized.
Yeah. I do remember that. And it's strange because there are certain video games. I can't think of any specific examples, but in the early days with voice acting in video games, it's easier for a Japanese voices to be put into a game because Japanese is a completely different language from English, and it only relies on a certain amount of syllables or something like that, and they can just record these syllables and make many more words than an English language game could do. And I think that's why Tetris Trackers never made it to the United States, because it had voice acting and it couldn't be done in English.
We say that, but a bunch of Japanese games with voice acting come over all the time.
But you have to remember, Tetris Trackers was only it was like a just a partial mini game that was part of I want to say Four Swords Adventures. So it's like it was just an extra game, and it would have taken up too much space if they had to do all that stuff in English. I think one of the reasons, at least a reason why I enjoy Mega so much, is because she actually has a character arc. And
oh yeah, like she's more than just like with someone like Navi. Oh, she was just there to be your companion, and people find her annoying. Personally, I thought she was fine. She never really had. Well, that's a whole other topic altogether. But spoilers. Initially, people thought Zelda was the titular Twilight princess, but no, it is actually Midna, and basically, Midna's a very important character to the plot, and they're. Yeah, she actually goes through a fairly interesting arc. Because at this point in the game, she's very self-serving and very bitchy towards you, and her whole. I'm probably just rambling, but
it's okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. Essentially, she has her own agenda, and she's willing to help you, but only she's mostly using you at this point. And anytime she really helps you, it's only so she can further her own agenda.
Very true. And one thing that it's kind of similar is in Majora's Mask, Tattle kind of only starts to be with you for a very self-serving reason.
Yeah, though, mind you, this whole thing is like, it's not technically selfish as, well, here's the thing, like, she basically wants to save her own land. that's been taken over by Zant. But the only way, but basically, so it's selfish in the sense that she's only herself and her own land and people. She really doesn't care about you, Hyrule, or really anyone at this point.
Well, anyone but her people.
Yeah, I mean, basically the realm of light, she really couldn't give a damn about at this point in the story.
Yeah.
But like I say, events happen later on that we'll comment on when they occur. She definitely she goes through a clear change, and even when she goes through the change, she still has that snarkiness. But you can tell that she is basically. I guess I'd say probably Ice Queen with a heart of gold.
It kind of feels like after the point where she starts to like be like, hey, I know I kind of used you, but I need your help. But she's still kind of putting up this facade of being like the tough guy.
Yeah, but it seems like she starts to have there's throughout the game you definitely more and more there's more camaraderie between the two, and she basically ends up having definitely a clear friendship with Link.
Of course.
Yeah, and again, some depending on your interpretation, maybe there's. Okay, I just want to ask your opinion. Is on record. Do you think, in your opinion, do you think there was anything in the game to imply romantic feelings between Link and Midna?
At the very end, she kind of like says, Link, take care of yourself. Like she's gonna say, I have feelings for you, or I love you.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Link, it's definitely clear he cared for her. Like, the big question is, did he care for her just as a good friend, or do you think he too maybe could have had feelings?
I feel like it was probably feelings. Maybe intense platonic feelings, but maybe romantic.
Yeah, I mean, for Link, I think it's a little more ambiguous, but I think with Midna, I want to feel it's greatly implied that she started feeling something romantic.
Could be.
Again, maybe I'm full of shit, and if other people again, like I think it definitely is open to interpretation.
I want to break this fire. I know you can. Oh, you know what? I don't think you can before the cutscene.
Again, in a minute, she's gonna refer to Zelda as the Twilight Princess, which again, actually, you know the interesting thing about Midna?
Sheikah symbol. What's that?
Oh, yeah, okay, so first of all, during development, okay, they early on they had the idea about Link turning into a wolf, but Miyamoto was concerned about it would be boring just to look at Link's backside in wolf form for long stretches of gameplay, so he suggested possibly having another character ride him.
Yep.
And there are if you look at early concept art, it seems like from early on they had like basically an imp-like character that wore a character. Basically, Midna herself wasn't a thing, but they were basically they like an imp-like creature riding Link was from the near the start was always going to be a thing.
Of course.
Yeah, so I just kind of wonder how long it took for this character just to be something, just so it would be more visually interesting. Because again, Midna, because when you get down to it, this is really Midna's story.
Well, she is the titular character, as you said earlier.
Well, like I said, I wonder at what point in development did they decide, okay, a lot of this story is really going to be Midna's?
Well, maybe it was a point in time where they're like, hey, we have to make... Well, we're going to make this new game. Let's think about the mechanics first and the stories afterwards.
We'll put that thought on hold for a second, because this is a pretty cool scene.
Yes, indeed it is. The only point in the game where you see these guys charging at anything, and they're completely slaughtered. And
Yeah,
then the only point where you see the other type of Twilight beast, like the generals, I guess you could call them. I'd love to see those guys in the game. They could have made like a sweet mini boss.
Maybe at one point they were planned to be something like that, but they got scrapped.
I'm sure they were.
Uh,
I love Zan's helmet.
I think you called him Lord Helmet in your series, didn't you?
Yes, I did. A Spaceballs reference.
Lord Helmet.
And I also I love the aesthetic of this game.
Oh yeah, this
much.
game. I love the style of this game for certain. It's very Lord of the Rings, very Tolkien-esque.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It definitely looks like. Oh, mind you, this was 2006, and that's when Lord of the Rings. Well, I mean, the movies were. I swear, I'm like 95% certain that those movies must have influenced the aesthetic of this game in some way.
Possibly. The only time you get a good look at these people's faces. I'm so disappointed that you can't look at people in Hyrule Castletown.
Yeah. I do kind of want. Okay, so I remember the people who are trapped in the Twilight. Like, are they? I can't remember. Like, are they like aware
They
that?
just said they're unaware.
Well, but to be fair, the screen I'm looking at, the text isn't that clear.
Oh, well, excuse me, Matt. It's me, Princess Zelda, the other titular character of this game. It's quite livable. It's perpetual Twilight. I mean, come on, it's awesome. Never is it questioned why she kept her form, but it's because she is, of course, a carrier of the Triforce.
But that makes no sense though, because Ganondorf, when he was in the Twilight Realm, was a spirit, and Link turns into a wolf.
It could also be because she has literally God throat like in her veins.
Yeah. Actually, at this point in the series, did they was it established that the goddess Hylia wasn't even a concept yet?
True.
So, but did they establish at this point early on? Had they established? Well, not early on, but try a spin attack. Yep.
I was going to do it. You didn't have to tell me, Matt. You don't have to tell me twice.
Alright, but I just kind of wondered, did they really at this point establish or even know that she was the royal family had the blood? Well, I know by Ocarina of Time it was established they knew the secret of the sacred realm, but like I said, I want to say it wasn't until later where it was retconned that they had the literal blood of a goddess running through. That's one thing that still bugs me, because the goddess Hylia from every game after Skyward Sword, or especially in Breath of the Wild, they act like she's such a big thing, but she is not mentioned in any other Zelda game.
Well, I've talked about this before, and I think I talked about it in Breath of the Wild Let's Play, where it could be possible that the Sheikah were, they are literally a secret race from every point in the game. Like, in the series, we only know of one Sheikah member, Impa. We know of Impa in... Well, Impa's in the original Legend of Zelda. In the manual, at least. And then Impa's mentioned in the manual of A Link to the Past. I mean, not A Link to the Past, in The Adventure of Link, and then again in Ocarina of Time, the Oracle games, this game, there's a character called Impaz, and then in Skyward Sword, Impa is a character that helps Zelda become Hylia. Now, a race that close to the goddess could have kept that secret during the time after Skyward Sword, up until the point of the, let's say, the Great Sheikah expansion in the 10,000 years prior to Breath of the Wild, where they become hugely technologically advanced, have items like the Sheikah Slate and the Divine Beasts and the Guardians and all that stuff. They could just, at that point, say, listen, this is the technology of the gods, and you are ruled by the embodiment, the literal life force of the goddess Hylia. That is Zelda. And that could be the point where they start saying, that's who she is. That's where her power comes from.
You just understand my confusion as, like, in every other game when they talk about the gods, they have mentioned the only goddesses that were talked about ever were Nehru, Din, and
Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Or Ferrari.
Well, I'm saying,
I don't know how to pronounce it.
they were the only ones ever mentioned, and Hylia just kind of came the fuck out of nowhere.
Well, that's also the weird part, too, where they talk about Din, Nehru, and Ferror in Skyward Sword as being the ancient gods, and Hylia being the new goddess. But you could say, oh, he doesn't have the boil on his face.
Really? I could have sworn he kept. I wonder if that's something they changed for the HD. Unless it's just faulty memory, but I swear I remember seeing that still on his face by this point. Again, like, unless I'm wrong. Yes, I wonder how. Did Russell just single-handedly fight off all the monsters?
That's what it seems like, and he got wounded because of it.
Well, I know he got greatly wounded, but Russell must be pretty badass, to fight all of them off by himself.
Oh, he's Bamf. He's a Bamf motherfucker.
Yeah, isn't Russell implied to be Link's sort of mentor?
I mean, I could kind of see that. They don't really say that he's their mentor. They definitely are friends. But I guess I could see where, he could also be considered a mentor.
I always just kind of thought. I always kind of thought that Link probably learned at least some of his skills from Russell, because he seems to be, like, in the village, the only one who really knows how to use a sword.
Except for those kids. They know how to use a sword, apparently.
Hey, quickly, call the hawk just for lulz.
Yes, for lulz. Okay, let's see what this hawk has to say. Old Linky boy. So, you're Link, right? Sorry about giving you so much trouble before. I'm not proud of it, but it's in my genes to obey anyone who blows a reed. How sad. Your voice. It sounded just like a reed. That's why I flew down. I'll tell you what, next time, call me like that when you need something. Who knows? I might be able to help you out.
I just love small little details like that. Like, you know, it's not something you have to do, but I guess everyone could probably tell I'm just a guy who appreciates the little touches.
I like the little touches like the creepy dolls. Look at the creepy dolls. They got nipples.
Yeah, they do.
I'm trying to look at Pinocchio. I'm the Skull Kid. And a wooden sword, and they got pumpkin boxes, more creepy dolls, pumpkins galore in here. Who put all these rubies in pumpkins? Another little detail, some fish, some beer bottles, some wood. I always like looking at like the details people, the game designers put, and this is something that's new for the HD version. These little drawings on the wall. You've got the brother, and you've got the other brother, like messing around with pumpkins, scarecrows, and does that guy have nipples too? Kind of looks like it. That must be the dad working. Okay. Come on, Link, you gotta get it. Use your head. I got it. I got a shield.
Actually, I'm trying to remember. I don't think we ever see the boy's mother, do we?
No, we do.
I'm trying to remember.
Not at night, but
not at night. Not at night. I'm trying to. Okay, there's like Beth's. I know Beth's mother's a shopkeeper. Colin's mother is right there. Don't tell me I'm completely blanking on who their mother is.
She looks like a man. That's pretty much all I can say about her. No, and when we come back to Orton Village after we do a bunch of other stuff, we will talk to Mallow's.
Yeah, it's like I remember their dad, and we just saw him talking to Mayor Bo. So I don't understand. Like, I just remember this sword was supposed to be like a gift for the royal family or something. Like, I don't understand how or they never really elaborate on how or why this was a thing.
Well, it's something that they've done in other Zelda games too. Take for example Minish Cap, when Link's father, the smith, is making the sword not as a gift for the royal family, but as a prize to the winner of a sword competition. It just seems that, a small town has to make its, pay its dues to the royal family, and this town's only way of doing that. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. I went the wrong direction because Wii U version.
Yeah,
the only thing
think
this little podunk town can do is give a sword to the royal family, and they'll be like, "Oh, how nice! Let me just put it with the other swords."
Yeah. This little village that has a population of 10 people, I think.
Let's count it real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's like 15 people. But yes, it's a very small population.
Yep. So we're about to come up to our first tier segment. I know in the HD version they've reduced the number of tiers you have to get. What do you think about that?
Well, I think anything to reduce some of the things that people had complaints about, and the tier segments were one of them, is always good. Just like in the Wind Waker HD version, they said, "Hey, we know you didn't like sailing, so we made it a faster sail." And hey, we know
Well,
that
it,
the
it,
I know that thing that the Swift Sail was originally planned to be put in the game, but couldn't because of loading constraints. But
yeah, I was just gonna say, I think it was less about people didn't like the sail and more that it took forever to get the right wind currents.
that's true. People didn't like using the Wind Waker all the time, even though I loved it. But
Yep.
the other thing, of course, is reducing the amount of time it took to get Triforce shards.
Yeah, so we're about to see our first light spirit. Well, what do you think of the light spirits in this game?
I like the light spirits. I think they're interesting. They don't really have that much bearing on the game, other than to tell you kind of like what's up, except for, of course, the
Oh, I'll say
last
right now,
one.
they have cool entrances, and I don't know the name of the track, but I love the music that plays when they talk to you.
Hey, it's a weird goat thing.
I don't know the name of this track, but I love it.
Well, I don't memorize names of tracks either.
Okay, we were just talking about one Breath of the Wild's big issues was its sparse use of music, and again, like this is just a series that's known for having great music. Like, just listen to this shit. It's just the problem is the music in Breath of the Wild wasn't bad. It's just more of it, please.
Unfortunately, I have to agree with you. It is one of those things where it's one of the flaws of Breath of the Wild. Of
Well, it's
course,
like I know what they were going for. They were trying. The idea was like because of the open nature of the world, they wanted a more ambient sound and feel, so they felt less music would add to it. It's like most of the time it's just the sound of wind and your footsteps in the grass and what. But it's just the fact that this series is known so. Okay, we're talking over the explanation of the Twilight, but
hey, if people want to know how to play, what's going on in the game, they can play the game.
yeah,
If they wanted a Let's Play that had no commentary, they would search The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess Let's Play no commentary.
I know. I just kind of wondered like how do we. I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to commentate on what I'm actually looking at, but sometimes I just go into tangents.
Talking, in my opinion, is better than dead silence.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of just playing a game being that appealing to watch.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying like I'll say right now, there's definitely stuff I'll have comments on later in the game, but right now we're just kind of getting started.
That's right. And speaking of which, just getting started, we are going to make our way back to the realm of Twilight, the land covered in twilight, whatever you want to call it. And then we are going to say good night. But of course, first we have to see the adorable scene of Midna wearing a shield improperly.
Yeah, I also think it's kind of cute how Wolfwink is wearing the sword and shield.
Hey, it's the only way he knows how.
Yeah, and by the way, this is the only time you see Wolfwink get pulled into the wall.
Yes. Well, unless you warp out and then head to Twilight Realm, which I think you can get pulled back in that way too.
Yeah, but I think no one ever does it because I don't think there's a warp point that close to the wall.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like, whoa, what are you doing? You crazy woman? He's so upset. Oh, this game.
Yeah, by the way, everyone's asked this question, but is Midna naked?
Oh, I think she is. I had
I
a
don't know.
hat on, Double D.
I remember seeing this picture long ago. It was basically just a picture of Midna blushing. He goes, I only just now realized I'm naked.
I made a joke about her being naked and riding on Link, but let's not get into that. Let's say goodnight. Matt, final thoughts.
That is a wolf with a snarky little midget riding it.
I have to agree. Well, good night, everybody.